Liara. You absolutely had a quiet girl phase in high school and you never got over it. You disappeared for 2 years and she built a church around your memory. And that didn't scare you. You call her intelligent, but she's just clingy with a degree. You were into her before she finished her first sentence. Admit it. You think psychic intimacy is romantic instead of a privacy violation with mood lighting. She writes your biography mid-relationship and you call that devotion. You don't want a girlfriend. However, you do want a fan with a PhD. Ashley. You probably tend to say, I like to play devil's advocate in arguments that no one asked for. You think that she's passionate. She's just hostile with extra steps. You somehow still believe that she's going to change, despite the fact that she pulled a gun on you in ME3. You stayed loyal and got rewarded with moral lectures and side-eye. You'd probably call her misunderstood right after she tells Garrus to stay in his lane. You defend her xenophobia as being cautious. Buddy, she's one monologue away from starting galactic civil war. Kaidan. You probably drink a lot of herbal tea and you refer arguments as moments of misalignment. You stayed loyal to someone who left you over a 2-year technicality. You flirted with him like you were submitting a resume. He's allergic to conflict, but you're just happy that he remembers your name. You went through 3 games for 1 scene of boring missionary and a glass of wine. You like the idea of being needed, just not loudly. You act like he's mysterious, but really he's just fucking boring. Garrus. You definitely think a bad scar and emotional damage is peak romance. You saw him brutally murder people on Omega and you thought, I bet he's soft. You waited 3 full games to get a kiss and a calibration joke, and you're still smiling about it. You think awkward sniper with guilt issues is the perfect romantic archetype. He could accidentally nuke a planet and you would still say, he means well. You probably make everything a slow burn because fast intimacy scares the shit out of you. Tali'Zorah. You 100% have a soft spot for girls who cry and apologize while they're crying. You romanticized coughing through a visor like it was a Shakespearean tragedy. You've always imagined what she looks like under the mask, and it's never realistic. You pick the romance that is most likely to end in medical bills. Also, you can't stop thinking about what Tali's sweat smells like. Cinnamon. She smells like cinnamon. You absolute freak. Miranda. You romanced her because the game framed her ass like a fucking billboard and you took the bait. You didn't see any red flags. You saw perfection and you thought, yeah, that's mine now. She talks about her daddy issues like she's giving a press statement. You thought saving her sister would unlock her soul. It didn't. You like cold people because it makes you feel special whenever they finally say thanks. Jack. You wanted to be her exception, and now you flinch when people raise their voice. She insulted you, threw furniture, and you took that as a sign of emotional progress. You don't want peace. You want to be the one that she doesn't stab. You dumped her for Miranda once, and you still feel bad about it. Good. You mistake pain for passion, and you're proud of it. If you romanced Jack, you're probably one of those people who thinks they would survive a nuclear bomb. Thane. You saw a man slowly dying, and you instantly thought, I can fix him. You don't actually love him. You just want to be remembered during his final breath. You treat his every cough like it's foreplay. You built a relationship on whispered regrets and inhalers. You think being sad together is better than being happy apart. You absolutely describe your relationship as beautifully tragic on social media. If you romance Thane, you absolutely love Titanic like it's the best film ever made. Jacob. You chose Jacob because you thought, this guy won't cheat on me. He did. He left you for a side character that you met for 10 seconds and you still tried to forgive him. His big emotional scene felt like an exit interview. You don't date emotionally boring people. You settle with them. You thought being stable meant being loyal. It didn't. You were so determined to find someone nice that you completely ignored the zero chemistry. You picked Jacob and the writers at BioWare punished you for it. Steve. You saw a man crying in a corner and you thought, time to seduce. You didn't fall for him. You inherited him when Kaidan just didn't work out. You think sitting quietly and watching fish swim through water counts as emotional intimacy. Your entire relationship is built on 2 conversations and a pathetic dance. If you romanced Steve, you're not in love, you're just afraid of hurting his feelings. Samantha. You asked her how she's doing and she pretty much passed out. That's what got you going. You're not dating her, you're managing her blood pressure. You think flirting during chess is peak sexual tension. You gave her 1 compliment and she acted like you proposed. She activated her toothbrush and you instantly started vibrating. She giggles when you take a breath near her and you take it as emotional validation. If you romanced Trainer, your type is people who blush so hard that they overheat their equipment. Kelly Chambers. You flirted with your emotionally unstable receptionist and then acted shocked when she caught feelings. You fed your fish once and she was ready to name your future kids. You liked her because she made you feel important. You stayed because no one else would talk to you. She dances for you once, and suddenly you're checking her loyalty like it's a side quest. You don't want love, you want easy validation from someone with poor boundaries. Diana Allers. You let a journalist onto your warship because she said shepherd in a flirty tone. You flirted with her for 5 minutes and acted like that made it exclusive. You weren't in love, you were just desperate and horny during the war. She came aboard for a story, not a relationship, and you still tried to wife her. You thought that you were the special one, she called you content. You didn't romance her, you subscribed to her OnlyFans with extra steps. James Vega. You flirted with James every single mission and still got friend-zoned. That's not failure, that's talent. You thought sparring was sexual tension. He thought it was cardio. You kept pushing, hoping that he would break. He never did. You actually thought that your romance arc would unlock after 100 pull-ups. He never made the slightest move, yet you still believed that there was something there. There had to be. You're not in love. You're addicted to rejection with abs. You've absolutely fallen for some random dude on the street who just needed directions. Samara. You tried. You failed. You tried again. You failed again. You convinced yourself that not everything has to be physical, yet internally you were screaming. You sat through all of her dialogue hoping for a loophole. You called her the mature choice, but let's be honest, you tried to romance a space nun and got left unread. This was not a romance, it was a philosophical slap in the face. Morinth. You saw a literal serial killer and you thought, that's fucking hot. You have the impulse control of a toddler on crack. You knew that she was gonna kill you, but that just made it that much better. You don't just make bad choices, you make the worst possible choice every single time. In conclusion, you picked the only romance option where Shepard fucking dies. You deserve everything that happens to you.